Illinois and Wisconsin and all of its members promote good sporting behavior by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. The CCIW has many traditions, but bad behavior isn't one of them. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Respect is the name of the game. At this time, we would like to recognize the all-conference student athletes who are competing in today's contest. First, from Millikin University. On second team, we have Tyler Gade. On first team, we have Liam McGill, Sam Busher, and Caleb Atkins. From Illinois Wesleyan University, on second team, we have Tyler Woltman, Jimmy Grigoni, Gage Wolf, Jack Flagg, and John Philip Ferraro. And on first team, we have Justin Godomsky, Kate Tomhave, and Jake Pullum. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, I would like to welcome you to Jack Hornberger Field on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University for today's CCIW baseball game between the Millikin University Big Blue and the Illinois Wesleyan University Titans. The NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Thank you for your assistance in providing a positive atmosphere. Now let's meet today's starters. First for your Big Blue of Millikin. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 6, Liam McGill. Batting second and in right field, number 9, Sam Busher. Batting third, center fielder, number 21, Tyler Gade. Batting cleanup, first baseman, number 25, Andy Nieberge. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 22, Ty Cribbett. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 13, Elliot Fulsher. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 18, Colby Kozlowski. Batting eighth, the DH, number 2, Julian Cabanine. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 14, Aiden Simmons. And on the mound for your Big Blue, number 40, Zach O'Donnell. And now the starters for your Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Batting first, center fielder, number 19, Matt Hudick. Batting second, the shortstop, number 33, Justin Godomsky. Batting third, first baseman, number 27, Kate Tomhave. Batting cleanup, and playing third base, number 1, Jimmy Grigoni. Batting fifth, the DH, number 32, JP Ferraro. Batting sixth, right fielder, number 14, Tristan Figgis. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 7, Gage Wolf. Batting eighth and in left field, number 41, Jack Flagg. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 0, Tyler Woltman. And on the mound for the Titans, number 45, Jake Pullum. Will you all please rise and remove your caps as we honor America in the playing of our national anthem.
set to go here at Jack Hornberger Field, day 2 CCIW baseball tournament. You got the #1 seed in Illinois, Wesleyan, facing off against the Millikin Big Blue. Michael and Kirill with you. Kirill, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Couldn't be more excited. It's going to be an amazing day. We have 2 great games for sure, and then the losers of the 2 games contesting a primetime 7 p.m. game. It's going to be a spectacular day of baseball here at Hornberger Field. And I mean, these 2 teams, probably the 2 most exciting teams in the conference as of this moment. They have the 2 longest win streaks. It's going to be a spectacle.
Yeah, I mean, for talking about Illinois Wesleyan first as the #1 seed, they come into this game against Millikin. They won both meetings regular season, 2-0. They're on a 10-game CCIW win streak right now. So if you're the Titans, you're feeling good. But if you're Millikin, you're also feeling good. You're on
Absolutely.
a 7-game conference win streak.
No, these are as I said, these are the 2 hottest teams, and you said it in the conference. No one's notched more wins in a row. In fact, Millikin's last loss was to Illinois Wesleyan, so they'll be hoping for some redemption. 8-game win streak overall for them. The Titans 12-1 in their last 13. And these are 2 teams that have championship pedigree. Wesleyan, in the end, winning the regular season title after trailing Carthage for much of the year. And then the Big Blue, well, they're the defending tournament champions. So they played their best baseball in the postseason. And I think we're going to see a glimpse of both of those things here today.
Leading up for Millikin, number 6, Liam McGill.
Jake Pullum on the mound for Illinois Wesleyan. He faces off against Liam McGill.
Yeah, and I mean, Pullum has been this team's ace throughout the year. 6-0 record, plus 2 saves to boot, and a 2.44 ERA. We touched upon it earlier. Pullum actually pitched both games against Millikin in the regular season, so it's a familiar matchup for the Big Blue.
Yeah, Jake Pullum pitched absolutely phenomenal in the 2 wins that Wesleyan got, as that one is fouled away. April 22nd, it was a 3-2 win. Jake Pullum went 6 innings with 7 strikeouts. And then in that other matchup, April 3rd, another pitch is fouled away, 7-2 win. Jake Pullum went 7 innings and 3 strikeouts, so very efficient 2 outings in the regular season. Not a surprise that Wesleyan put him out there again today.
Not at all, and clearly this is an opponent that suits him, although based on his stats, every opponent suits him this year.
Pitch misses for a ball, brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's facing a dangerous hitter here in McGill, batting .325 on the season, and he's a Bloomington native.
Spoils a nice pitch from Jake Pullum. Foul territory. Yeah, shout out to the Bloomington native, Bloomington Purple Raider.
Must be nice to be back home here, although he'll be hoping to disappoint the local crowd today.
3-2, chopped over to third. Gergoni's on it. First out recorded for the Titans on the 2-2 chopper to Gergoni.
That Gergoni-Tom Have combination has been deadly all year, and we see it again. That's not an easy throw, but they're so well synchronized that it really was never a doubt that that one was going to beat the run.
After the ground out, it's going to be Sam Busher, who is probably, if not the hottest bat in this Millikin lineup. Had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, he might be the hottest bat in this conference right now. .404 average on the season.
Pullum delivers the strike in the zone. Gets to even it up at 1 apiece. going to be hit right back up the middle. Sliding is Gadomski, but it's going to get through into center field, and that's going to be a base hit. It's going to be a tough play for Gadomski if he was able to corral it, but
yeah, unsurprising that it gets past him. That's a difficult dribbler for him to handle. Busher doing what he's done all year, and he's getting on base. So important for Pullum here to move on. But he's facing yesterday's hero in Tyler Gade. Gade, for those of you who weren't with us yesterday, hit a very important home run for the Millikin Big Blue.
Pullum delivers. Woltman over to first.
Good awareness from Woltman to make that attempt at least. And Busher, we saw him teasing that he was even going to go for two with that hit earlier. And now again, threatening.
Tyler Gade is at the dish for the Millikin Big Blue. He went deep yesterday. They'll chop that one over to second. Wolf on it, diving play, flip over to Gadomski, over to first. Safe at first.
What a play that would have been. Nonetheless, truly brilliant stuff from the Wesleyan defense, and particularly Gage Wolf. He was on top of that one, and good awareness to get it to second base. Now it's not so dangerous of a situation for them.
Andy Niebergy at the plate with Gade at first after the fielder's choice.
Niebergy's a very versatile hitter. 324 a mark on the season, and he's gone long 3 times, knocked in 30 runs. So he'll certainly be a threat to Pullum, but so far so good for the Wesleyan pitcher.
Pullum delivers but misses low and away. One ball, one strike with 2 outs. As Niebergy will try to advance Tyler Gade. Stays ahead in the count. Now 2-1.
This is shaping up to be a CCIW tournament classic. 2 powerhouses of this conference squaring off in the first game of the day.
Niebergy again being very patient against Jake Pullum. 3-1 the count. If you're Pullum, you don't want to give in and give up a walk right here. Foul back towards the backstop. Brings it full. That's exactly what you wanted if you're Jake Pullum.
Yeah, it's good stuff from Pullum, especially against the player who we saw yesterday more than ever is a very patient player. He got a single in his only official at-bat and got walked 4 times.
Pullum will throw over to first. Checks on Gade. He's back safely.
Niebergy's someone who knows how to get on base. Yesterday doing so on 5 occasions against Wheaton College. Can he get the better of Pullum here?
3-2, runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Pullum gets the strikeout, and that's going to end the inning for the Wesleyan Titans on defense. Nice job by Jake Pullum as he'll send the green and white bats up to bat next.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
We are back as it is the bottom of the first, as the Titan Bats will get up and face the pitcher in Zach O'Donnell. And if you're Millikin, if you're looking for some sort of a key to build off of yesterday, you got a fantastic performance from your freshman in Caleb Atkins. Pitching was your strong suit. They're going to try to look to do that again today.
Well, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be O'Donnell, who's pitched more than anybody in this Big Blue team. 7-3 record on the season, 5.60 ERA, 62 2/3 innings pitched in total. So he's the player who gets more time on the mound than anybody else. But yeah, what an act to follow. Atkins yesterday, lights out throughout, and made it through 8 innings, very nearly had a full game. Eventually pulled after facing one batter in the 9th.
Number 19, Matt
The Titans, your top 3 hitters are Hudick, Gadomski, and Tom Have, as they will face the defense behind O'Donnell. Cribbett and McGill on the left side of the infield, Forsher and Nieberger on the right side, Kozlowski, Gade, and Busher left to right in the outfield, with Aiden Simmons the backstopper. Hudick will take the first pitch inside for ball 1.
Little lefty-lefty matchup here to start the bottom of the first.
Backing away from that one as Hudick takes it, ball number 2. If you're Wesleyan, we talked about the key for the game. One of the keys of the game for the Millikin was the pitching. If you're Wesleyan, it's to get a lead, because in the 2 games against Millikin, you got out to an early lead in both of those, and you were able to keep them. So get a lead early if you can on Zach O'Donnell.
No, it's pivotal. The mental aspect, it cannot be overstated.
Rio is in there for a strike, not even an intention of swinging from Matt Hudick. Hudick will swing on that one, contact's made, diving, not making the grab, is the left fielder Kozlowski. Hudick wheeling into second, throw is gonna be offline, and that is a leadoff double for the Titans.
Look at that reaction, he's roaring up this crowd, making sure that the home field advantage is asserted early, and that's just beautiful from Matt Hudick. We know he's capable of it, just he plays with the quality of someone with so much more experience. He's just a freshman. He's the youngest player in this starting lineup for the Titans, but once again showing just how valuable he is in that leadoff spot.
Now it is, funny enough, the doubles king of the regular season, Justin Gadomski. Hudick with his double of his own. Gadomski's going to try and get him over.
If Gadomski was to pull off one of those classic doubles of his here, it would mean a lot for the Titans, who would take an early lead.
Swing and a miss from Gadomski, evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gadomski is one of the many seniors in a Wesleyan team loaded with veterans, native of Schaumburg, and batting .384 for the season.
Chopper by Gadomski over to third, grabbed by Cribbett. He'll throw over, retire Justin Gadomski, and Hudick will stay at second. And you know, that was something that Coach Keller talked about in the very beginning of the season. If we go back to even the first conference series, he was talking about how they were able to return a lot of these players for Wesleyan, which was something key for them, and they have a lot of depth also, which is really important. He said that, you know, a lot of teams end up having to rebuild, but they want to just retool. As the runner will advance on a wild pitch, he gets through, and Hudick's going to try and score. He will do easily. So a miscue from Millikin. The Titans jump on the scoreboard first.
Matt Hudick is the star of the day, and we're only about 10 minutes into this game. First the double, and now some expert base running, forcing them essentially into that error by taking off for third. Good stuff for Matt Hudick.
So after Hudick scored, it's going to be a 2-0 count to the hitter, Cade Tomhave. Take a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Before that Hudick base running masterclass, we were discussing the depth of this team. And even though they're graduating 13 seniors, you don't feel as if next year will be a rebuild.
Tom may have thought about it, lets it go, but it's called a strike. Yeah, you feel like that depth, going back to that depth piece, it's going to be in favor of the Titans. A full rebuild is a lot different than just retooling and kind of refueling your lineup.
Exactly.
So Michael Keller, head coach of the Titans, trying to take an approach of a lot of player development, and that's something that we've seen throughout the year, especially with all of the new technology, as the 3-2 is in there for strike 3. Cade Tomhave goes down looking.
Well, that'll be disappointing, but the important thing is that Hudick got across by any means necessary. That was always the goal. And now we were talking about head coach Michael Keller, and I mean, what a job he's done. It's his first season as head coach of this team. Served as the pitching coach for 6 years previously, and I mean, just incredible to win them their first regular season title in 12 years, and now they're looking for a conference tournament run.
Jimmy Gargoni looks at a first pitch strike maybe he didn't agree with, but yeah, I mean, and talk about an even more impressive effort from head coach Michael Keller. He followed up Dennis Martell,
right,
who was at Wesleyan for what, like 30 plus years or something like that. I mean, that guy's a legend around here. So Coach Keller, big shoes to fill, but he's doing quite the job so far. As Gargoni hits that one towards the right field lines, and it's going to be foul. So he will get another chance at the plate, down 0-2.
And I'm sure Keller's head coaching quality is largely thanks to those 6 seasons he spent working with Martell. He's continuing his legacy, and if he can do even a fraction of what Martell did for this program, he'll go down as a legend of the program.
Gargoni down in the count, 0-2. Wesleyan leads it 1-0 after a wild pitch allowed Hudick to get home. Feels like during this tournament, those sorts of plays are going to be what decides who moves on and who goes home.
And that's what's got to be so frustrating for Millikin, to give up a run in that fashion in such a crucial game. Second round of the conference tournament. Either of those teams, of course it is double elimination, but either of these teams could be packing it up today. One of the 4 teams remaining will.
2-2 is spoiled. Zach O'Donnell went after Gargoni, but unsuccessfully. They'll do the 2-2 pitch once again. And another one spoiled from Gargoni.
Yeah, forcing O'Donnell to throw a lot more pitches than he would have liked in this first inning.
Misses high, brings it full, 3-2. Jimmy Gargoni, a very nice at bat going right here.
And so dangerous is every bit of this Wesleyan order that really walking Gargoni could have devastating implications.
3-2 misses, ball 4. Jimmy Gargoni heads down to first base, keeps the line moving.
Gargoni's well aware of how important that walk is. You saw him roar towards the dugout over a walk, and that's the sort of passion that's so characteristic for postseason baseball. It just means more.
Every little play matters just a little bit more as you get into the playoffs. JP Ferraro looks at a pitch on the outside half of the plate, strike one.
I wasn't too sure about that one, but home plate umpire judges it to have just stayed inside the zone. Ferraro, very fond of the long ball, leads this team in home runs, has 6.
Check on the runner, Gagroni. Titans, a very aggressive base running team. They steal a lot of bases. They got a good amount of speed. Aiden Simmons behind the plate for Millikin, as that one will hit JP, and he will walk down to first, and quickly now, there's 2 on and 2 outs.
You can feel maybe that tide is shifting from this being what we expected to be a close game for at least the first few innings. Now the Titans have a chance to roll out to quite a lead early on here, bringing up Tristan Figgis, who's knocked in 20 runs this season and recently notched his first home run of the year.
Figgis in that April 3rd game against Millikin, 3 for 4 and 2 runs. So he's had a decent amount of success against the Millikin Big Blue.
And he's a hero of this team after bringing in that 3-run homer against Carthage that proved decisive in them clinching at least a share of the regular season title for the first time in 12 years.
That is the reason why Wesleyan is the #1 seed, as that one is fouled away.
Huge opportunity to host postseason baseball at Hornberger Field, and an attendance to match, even though this is a weekday noon game. Very good crowd here at Hornberger Field.
It is a very impressive crowd out here. As foul tip, strike 3. The catcher Aiden Simmons able to grab it. Nice job by him, and the Titans will go down, but they do score a run. They lead it 1-0 as we're headed to the top of the second on the Titan Broadcast Network.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Top of the second here at Jack Hornberger Field, your second day of action in the CCIW baseball tournament. And yesterday we had beautiful weather. We get another great day of beautiful weather. Nothing greater than some mid-afternoon baseball.
No, it's beautiful. These are the sorts of days I'm sure that everyone's excited about. I know we certainly were most excited about these days, this postseason tournament here in Bloomington. The fans, no doubt, as well, and the players. They'll be feeling the pressure, but I'm sure the nice conditions will alleviate some of the stress at least. We've seen some blustery conditions in Bloomington across the regular season.
This is game 1 of 3 games today. Millikin and Illinois Wesleyan game 1. Game 2 is Carthage versus North Central. That will start at 3:30, and then the third game is at 7 p.m. That will be the 2 losers of the first 2 games of today. So make sure you stay tuned in, because there's a lot of baseball action. And softball is also going on today, hosting their conference tournament. So lots going on here at Jack Hornberger Field and across the campus of Illinois Wesleyan. Jake pulling back for another inning of work as he faces Ty Cribbett. Cribbett fouls that one away.
Cribbett yesterday went 0 for 4 at the plate, but did knock in a run. So we'll be hoping to improve on that today.
Millikin left 12 men on base yesterday. That's something that they're probably going to look at and want to clean up, as Gribbett will hit that one into left field, but it's going to hang up for the left fielder, Jack Flagg. That'll be the first out of the inning. But you never want to leave too many men on base because that means you're missing opportunities. And that was something that they saw specifically against Illinois Wesleyan. They had a lot of runners on in that April 22nd game. They out-hit the Titans 10-5, but only scored 2 runs. They had bases loaded with no outs, and they only mustered 1 run across. As the grounders hit to Gage Wolf, throw over to Tom Have, and quickly 2 outs.
That sort of inefficiency you're talking about is deadly. It's very costly, and Millikin paid the price then, and now with the stakes even higher, playing that same dangerous defensive team in the form of the Titans, you can't afford those mistakes. And that's something that you mentioned. We saw it yesterday against Wheaton College. There was very little you could criticize about that performance from Millikin, but if there's anything, it is the fact that they were leaving runners stranded.
Colby Kozlowski at the dish with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Kozlowski stepping into that 7 hole today.
Looks at a strike from Jake Pullum. He'll make contact out towards Flagg, and it's going to drop right in front of the left fielder for the Titans. That's going to be a base hit for the Millikin Big Blue with 2 outs.
Good stuff from Kozlowski to get on base. Yesterday, he was 0 for 2, but also knocked in a run. So that brings up Julian Kabanen, who did not start yesterday and hasn't started much this season at all, but the freshman came up clutch with a double against Wheaton.
Goes after the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Kabanen with that double yesterday, maybe showing his coaches a little bit of confidence in why he's maybe in the lineup today.
Huge moment for him. Knocked in his 11th RBI of the season with that double.
That's part of going back to talking to Coach Michael Keller. That's part of that development piece that we know specifically Wesleyan likes to focus on, but across all schools that they focus on, and Kabanen certainly getting that opportunity.
That's awesome to see.
Confidence can do wonders.
No doubt about it.
Inside pitch called for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs as Kabanen will try and get Kozlowski. Advancing to second as he takes that one low.
No reason for concern for Pullum. He's given up 2 base hits, but handled the first situation well, and so far so good here in this at bat.
2-2 is hit foul and out of play. Woltman will throw a new ball to his pitcher Pullum as he'll get ready to do it once again with 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the 2-2, they'll check on Kozlowski at first.
Yeah, gives Pullum a reset if nothing else. Big pitch coming up.
Runner goes, Woltman throw over to second. He's gonna nail him. Tyler Woltman coming up big for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. That'll end the inning for the Millikin Big Blue. And that will send the men in green and white back up to the batter's box to face the pitcher for the Millikin Big Blue and Zach O'Donnell when we come back on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12-Ounce Sports. back after Millikin Big Blue got caught stealing by Tyler Woltman, the D1 transfer from Illinois State. Titans very lucky to have him.
Woltman making that crosstown move, and he's been just so effective behind the dish. He's been an incredible catcher all year, and that was just another glimpse into his quality. That doesn't mean that Cabinin didn't get that complete at-bat. See more of him later. But for the time being, Wesleyan will look to add to their lead.
Starting things off for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans is their second baseman, Engage Wolf. Takes the first one out of the zone.
Wolf's another deadly hitter. I think that's, at this point, we can confidently say that about pretty much any player the Titans put into their lineup, but he's batting .344 this season.
Both of these teams very good as that one's popped into left field. Kozlowski out there in left makes the grab for the Millikin Big Blue.
Yeah, O'Donnell, the pitcher, he wants a quick inning. He really does. Especially after that first inning where pretty much everything went wrong from the start. He was happy to stop the bleeding at 1 run. It could have been worse. And now getting that first out, well, already different from the first where he gave up a double to start things off.
Both of these teams we know can score plenty of runs. Millikin putting up a good amount of runs yesterday. So they know if you're Millikin, you don't want to give him any more runs, as that one's going to be hit by Jack Flagg over to second. Ranging over and making the play is Elliot Fulcher. That'll be the second out of the inning.
Those are the sorts of balls that are so easy to drop, so good work from Fulcher, not only to scoop it up, but not lose balance and get that throw over to Niebrugge at first. And now that brings up the aforementioned Tyler Woltman. Already seen an eye-catching play from him on defense. What can he do on offense?
Take a strike at the bottom of the zone from the pitcher in Zach O'Donnell. I always think it's interesting, as that one's going to be chopped over to third. Cribbet's on it for the Millikin Big Blue. Throw over. That will retire the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. I'll get back to my point after we take a break, but it's the Titans leading 1-0 here on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports.
No runs, no hits, no errors.
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
We are back on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports. Thank you for joining us for this game 1 between the number 1 seed Illinois Wesleyan Titans and the Millikin Big Blue, who are the number 4 seed. And so far, it's been a good one.
It has, and it has all the makings of a really good, even defensive game. We mentioned how hot these bats can get, but so far both pitchers doing a fine job. And we'll see how long it stays that way. I know at any point either team could explode offensively. And you said Millikin are the 4 seed. I think we can all agree that based on their recent form, they have not been playing like a 4 seed. This is a team that is right up there with Carthage, North Central, and Illinois Wesleyan. Now, they want to prove it. Today's a good opportunity because they're getting at least 1, maybe 2 games today against one of the top 3 teams. So they want to prove their worth and stake a claim that maybe they can make a deep run and defend their title that they won last year.
Yeah, I think that this playoff tournament really can show that seedings, yes, it's nice if you're Illinois Wesleyan, you get the number 1 seed, you host, but all that goes out the window as soon as the tournament starts. And like you said, I couldn't agree more. Millikin playing very, very well. They are seeded number 4, but I do agree they're playing much more like a top 3 seed in this tournament, which can, if you're Wesleyan, that could be a little bit scary.
It can, having to face such a difficult opponent in your first game. That's sort of the nice thing about not getting a bye. If there's any silver lining to not being a top 2 seed, you get what in some ways can serve as a warm-up game. Yes, it's win or go home, but you sort of ease into things.
Certainly. Count is now 3-0 to Julian Kabanen, who did not get to finish his at-bat in the last half inning for the Millikin Big Blue. Tyler Woltman throwing out a runner at second, so he gets a new chance, and he's got a great count in 3-0. Took that one all the way, makes it 3 balls, 1 strike. Top of the third, Jake Pullum having a very nice day so far. As he battles back and makes it 3-2.
Good work from the pitcher.
Pullum tries to jam him on the inside part of the hands, but able to spoil it is Cabin. Nice job, gets a piece of it.
He's been so patient today. This is already probably the 11th or 12th pitch he's faced, what with that unfinished at-bat in the last inning.
3-2 pitch is fouled off. See what Jake Pullum tries to go with on this 3-2 pitch to Julian Kabanen.
Taking a second to compose himself, refocus.
Two is outside, ball 4. That'll be a leadoff walk for the Millikin Big Blue.
Kabanen's having himself a week. That's now seems ridiculous to say, given how much we've spent talking, how much time we've spent talking about him. But that was only his second official at bat of the week and second time he's reached base. So good stuff from the youngster.
Simmons, the backstopper for the Millikin Big Blue, will square early to bunt. He'll pull back in time, though, as that one's low and away.
Unsurprising to see him attempt the bunt. He's someone who hasn't been batting too much this season, hasn't seen too much action altogether, but does have a respectable .250 average.
Gergoni in at 30, pushes that one towards first. Woltman on it, diving. Play it first, it's safe. As
wow.
A bunt towards first base turns into a hit, and Millikin has 2 on.
That is a huge moment for the Big Blue. Great stuff from Simmons. It's a really good bunt down the first baseline, and we see an instant replay here. He nailed that one, but it really seemed like Woltman was going to get that one in time. Marginal difference. It does seem like the runner beats the throw. So 2 on, nobody out. Millikin in a great position thanks to a truly spectacular bunt from Aiden Simmons.
Now back to the top of the order in the hometown kid, Liam McGill. He will also bunt, puts it down, Pullum's on it. He slips over to first. Not even gonna make the throw as he'll throw it over to Gergoni. And another bunt for a single.
And now all of a sudden, Jack Hornberger Field could as well be on the campus of Millikin. You hear the crowd roaring. They have a great deal of away support here today, and they're rightfully excited. Bases loaded, nobody out.
I mentioned it earlier, talking about the missed opportunities. A situation just like this in the regular season for Millikin. Bases loaded, no outs. At earlier time, only manufactured one run. That cannot happen here if you're Millikin.
They really can't afford it. If they get out of this inning with the score still standing at 1-0, it will be a huge disappointment for the Big Blue. And already, if you take a look at the scorecard, they're out hitting the Titans 4-1. They truly cannot afford to waste away what their last 3 hitters have done in this inning.
They've got the momentum. They've played one more game than Illinois Wesleyan. They're feeling good about themselves. Don't want to discredit anything because they did advance in this tournament. They won yesterday. This is a big chance early in this one. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Sam Busher is at the dish.
Probably the last player you want to face in a bases loaded, no out situation. 404 average, 4 home runs, and another one here would make it a 4-1 game to Millikin, of course, and leads the teams in runs batted in with 43.
Corner infielders are in for the Titans. Busher makes contact, but it's fouled away.
The only thing that makes bases loaded situations worse for pitchers is if it brings up a dangerous part of the order. And with Busher at the plate and Gade on deck, the home run hero from yesterday, you really want to take care of business here.
1-1, fouled away, strike 2.
Well, regardless of which team you're supporting, I'm sure you'll agree with me that this game is delivering the goods so far. Shaping up to be one to remember.
A big 1-2 pitch, bases loaded and nobody out. Pullum misses high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sam Busher trying to deliver for the Millikin Big Blue, down by 1 here in the top of the 3rd. To hit the outside part, doesn't get the call though.
Such a close pitch, and it makes a tense situation even more tense.
We'll see how aggressive Jake Pullum goes after Sam Busher. A 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Pullum gets Sam Busher swinging, and that is a huge out.
Absolutely. I mean, Jake Pullum, he's not out of the woods yet by any means, but that is quite the cold-hearted strikeout from Jake Pullum. He is not here to mess around, and he delivers his second punch-out of the game. Now, one-out bases-loaded situations are a lot more common and significantly less threatening. Still a big chance for Millikin, but perhaps the tide has shifted here in favor of the Titans.
The home run hitter from yesterday, Tyler Gade. Takes the first pitch inside.
And that home run wasn't a rarity for him. You know, has 3 this season, but more importantly, has 36 RBIs. The bases loaded, big opportunity to add to his tally.
And he will do just that as he hits that one into left field. It's going to get down. This ball game is tied up at 1.
We'll do it all over again, bases loaded, but this time the game is tied. As you mentioned, Millikin now looking to be in the driver's seat when the 3rd inning is said and done. Tyler Gade knocking in another run after he did just that yesterday. He's having himself quite the postseason so far. And the Big Blue Bats gotten going, 5 hits through 3 incomplete innings, and the bases are still loaded.
That Big Blue dugout is feeling themselves right now as Andy Nieberge steps into the dish. Nieberge struck out in his last plate appearance. Looks at the pitch. Wolben tried to bring it back into the zone, but doesn't get the call.
Andy Nieberge, I mean, he walked 4 times yesterday. He knows how valuable it would be to match that today, or at least get one here, knocking another run.
The 2-0, called a strike for Jake Pullum. Brings it to 2 balls and 1 strike. A double play is in order for Jake Pullum. If he can get it, that would end the inning for the Titans. If you're Millikin, you're looking to pour it on right here.
Now's the time. You don't get a lot of chances against this Titan squad.
Laid off by Nieberge as that one's low at his ankles. Advantageous count, 3 balls and a strike.
Nieberge, one fortunate pitch away from an RBI walk.
Nice pitch, got him swinging. Brings the count full, 3-2. That one is, contact is made. Out in center field, catch is made. Hudick out there. Runners stay put. Fortunately for Wesleyan, that was hit pretty shallow.
Now if you're the Big Blue, it's suddenly feeling like deja vu. We talked about that situation in the regular season where they only managed 1 run from a bases loaded situation against Illinois Wesleyan. They really can't afford that here because at any moment the Titans bats could match what the Big Blue bats have already been doing and regain the lead. So it's on Ty Cribbett to extend this inning and add some runs.
He flew out his last time up. He can't do that here with 2 outs. He needs to find the outfield grass. Woltman will chat with his pitcher Pullum. Just trying to give him some more confidence. He's got 2 big outs. He needs 1 more to get out of it.
And if he does, I mean, it's extremely impressive getting 2 strikeouts in bases loaded situations. Yes, he gave up that 1 run, but altogether, escaping this inning, having given up just 1 run, would be a major achievement for Jake Pullum.
Ball 1 taken outside. Jake Pullum versus Ty Cribbett. Bases loaded, 2 outs in a 1-1 game in the top of the 3rd. Second one looked close, but doesn't get the call once again.
Now Pullum will be hoping that Cribbett makes feeble contact on one of these balls because this count isn't in the pitcher's favor right now.
2-0 is called a strike, catches the outside paint. Contact's made, hit to left field, but it's foul.
Real good work from Pullum to work his way back into this count. Now he's just 1 strike away from getting out of the 3rd.
Cribbett versus Pullum. 2-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. That one's contact made. Wolf can't make the play though, as a couple of runs are gonna score for the Millikin Big Blue, as that one ate up Gage Wolf at second.
That is exactly what you need to do if you're Ty Cribbett. Such a tense moment. He delivers, gets it into the gap between first and second base, and difficult play. I'm sure Gage Wolf will be horribly disappointed not to have caught that one. It was a daring dive from him. Instead, Millikin leads for the first time today, and it's a 2-run lead.
Their dugout making their presence known as they find themselves, like you said, ahead now, 3-1, with runners on the corners.
Yeah, now it's important for Fulsher to remember that this inning's still not over. they could really make this a rout early.
First pitch is outside for ball one. It's Tyler Gade. Got about a quarter of the way down the line at third. Next pitch fouled back to the backstop. Evens it up at 1 apiece.
We touched upon how Millikin are better than their seed, and indeed they're proving that so far today. They play their best baseball in the playoffs. We saw that last year.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Nice catching job behind the dish from Tyler Woltman to get that call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pullum versus Fulsher. Got him swinging, Jake Pullum with the strikeout. That'll end the inning for the Titans, but the damage has been done
3 runs on
as Millikin leads it 3-1. We're headed to the next half inning with the Titan bats up next.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements.
We're back here in the bottom of the third, and if you're the Titans, you give up the lead, but Jake Pullum did a nice job keeping the damage to a minimum. It's only a 2-run deficit. And the Titan bats, we know from watching them this entire season, very potent.
Yeah, and what's the good news for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans is that it's the top of the order to start things off here in the bottom of the third. Hudick, Godomsky, Tom Have. It's been the most dangerous part of this order throughout the season, and now they have to live up to their billing as team leaders. If Hudick up first, we already saw him pull off an impressive double to lead off this game.
Takes ball 1. Problem, if you're a Titan fan, is that we talked about right in the beginning of this one, as that one's taken for a strike, but Millikin Big Blue, their pitching has been their strength in their first game, and so far in this one, if you're a Titan fan, that's gonna maybe worry you a little bit, as now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matt Hudick.
Yeah, O'Donnell's getting those calls on the outer edge of the strike zone.
That one called strike 3. Just like you said, getting the calls on the outside part of the plate, the Titan hitters might have to adjust their approach as this game continues, but Matt Hudick goes down looking.
Yeah, credit to O'Donnell for exploiting that. He's well aware of, he's got an idea of the home plate umpire strike zone, and we see the instant replay here. Good work from the catcher in Aiden Simmons to frame that one.
Godomsky hits that one right back up the middle, so after the strikeout, Godomsky says, let's get this thing going for the Titans.
And I mean, we've spent so much time talking about Justin Godomsky every time we have the pleasure of calling a game here at Hornberger Field. Really no words to describe him at this point. He's going to be sorely missed, and right now, he's doing what the Titans need, getting on base. Sets up Cade Tomhave to perhaps cut into this deficit.
Tomhave struck out in the first inning. First pitch outside, ball 1. Godomsky's at first, 1 out, bottom of the third. Millikin leading it 3-1. Tomhave takes a hack, but fouls it off.
What surprises me a little bit is that first pitch to Tomhave seemed to be pretty close just on the other side, because this is a right-handed hitter, to the 3 strikes that were thrown in the last at-bat. So difficult to tell what's going to get called and what's not going to get called.
This one over at the plate. Tom Hay fouls it away for strike number 2. Much different conditions here at Jack Hornberger Field today than yesterday. A little bit more windy, but it is blowing in. Still check on Gadomski.
And the fact that the wind is blowing in is only going to make the Big Blue even happier about that 3-run third inning.
The 1-2 is not going to be delivered. They'll check on Gadomski once again. Tom Have makes contact, but it's going to be high and towards the parking lot, out of play. They will do the 1-2 pitch once again, as O'Donnell is battling Tom Have with 1 out. Tom Have makes contact. Going to be hit towards the right center field, and it's going to be caught, and that'll be an out as Tyler Gade makes the grab for the Millikin Big Blue.
Cade read that well, and he was ready to toss that one back into the infield.
Third baseman number 1, Jimmy Gergoni.
Now the Titans need some magic from Gergoni to keep this inning alive. It's always better to repair the damage sustained on defense sooner rather than later.
Gergoni drew a walk his first time up. He'll go after the first pitch, foul it away. O'Donnell so far with 3 strikeouts for the Millikin Big Blue.
Yeah, good mark from him.
They're really keeping an eye on Gadomski over at first. That one low, right about at the ankles. Jimmy Gergoni reaches. J.P. Ferraro is on deck for the Titans. As another one is low and at the ankles.
O'Donnell wants to get out of this inning as quickly as possible, take a lead into an inning for the first time today.
The 2-1. Hit by Gergoni over to third. Cribbett is on it for the Millikin Big Blue. High throw. But Gergoni is going to run right in to Andy Nieberge for Millikin, but they get out of it unscathed. They continue to lead it here at Jack Hornberger Field, 3-1, as we head to the next half inning on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12 Ounce Sports.
Trey Zastro, Carthage, Eric Malat, Elmhurst.
We
William
are back
Duff,
for the
Illinois
top of
Wesleyan,
the 4th. This game
Alec
moving along
Melander,
as
Millikin,
Millikin leads it
Michael
3-1.
Swansea, North Central,
Titans tried to get something going in that last half inning,
and Tim
but they're going to
Week.
depend on their defense to try and swing that momentum back to the offense.
Jake Pullum, he's a class act. He's a professional. He's going to be very capable of recovering from a tricky inning right there. And I mean, at the end of the day, he hasn't been pitching poorly at all. 3 strikeouts to his name through 3 innings. It's a good mark. Just got into a little trouble early and couldn't get out of it. Still now, fresh slate, and now he's feeling a little bit of the pressure. Could be a good thing.
Colby Kozlowski is at the dish to lead off this 4th inning. He had a single earlier in the game that came in the 2nd. First pitch way outside, ball 1.
Yeah, the Big Blue want to pick up right where they left off in the top of the 3rd.
Two straight pitches outside to the left-handed hitting Colby Kozlowski. This one missing. It looked like a decent pitch, but not getting the call as Jake Pullum brings the count to 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out the zone here.
This one on the inside part of the plate does get the call. Kozlowski maybe thought it was ball 4.
It's one of those situations where it's not, you can't argue that the home plate umpire is playing favorites at all. Just a little bit of inconsistencies.
That one looked to be pretty much over the plate as he thought that one was ball 4 once again, but Pullum battles back. It's 3-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Pullum battles back from 3-0 to 3-2 and gets the strikeout.
How huge is that going to be for his confidence? I mean, he's been striking out batters left and right today, but to start an inning in that fashion after the last one started pretty poorly, very important for Jake Pullum.
Julian Kabanen ready to face off. Outside, ball 1 to the right-handed hitting Kabanen.
He was walked his first time up.
Makes contact. Fouled away, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Millikin leading it 3-1 in the top of the 4th with 1 out. Nice job to frame that one, brings it to 1-2. Goes to the outside part of the plate, just a little bit too outside though.
Yeah, swinging a tad to the pitcher's left there to even the count.
2-2 laid off. That one just below the zone.
Yeah, judged to have been just underneath the knees of Kabanen. Real close call, and that's the sort of calls that to any other pitcher would be devastating to confidence. Pullum, on the other hand, can stay alive in those situations. But it's Kabanen doing the staying alive here with that foul tip.
Nice job by Kabanen right there. Spoiling anything that Jake Pullum throwed him on that pitch. Another 3-2 from Jake Pullum. Contact's made out towards right field at the wall, carrying. It is off the wall. And the speedy Julian Kabanen, a triple for the Millikin Big Blue.
I mean, remember the name, Julian Kabanen, out of nowhere, having barely started at all this season, comes in yesterday, delivers a double, starts today, and delivers a triple in his first official at-bat.
That ball was hit a mile.
The catcher.
As I thought that one maybe had a chance to get out, but Wesleyan has their own version of the Green Monster out there in right field.
Yeah, the right field monster just stopping Kabanen from getting what would have been his first career home run. So he'll have to wait a little bit longer for that precious moment. But if the rest of his career is anything like what we've seen from him these past 2 days, it's coming sooner rather than later.
Aiden Simmons now with a chance to extend the lead for the Millikin Big Blue. Simmons with a single in the third. Still only one out for Jake Pullum.
I think what's been decisive and will continue to be decisive for the Big Blue is how much these players that on paper are the worst hitters on the team are stepping up today. The bottom of the order has delivered time and time again. First cabinet, we've seen Simmons already get that hit.
Oh, Wesleyan's got a chance to double him off, and they do exactly that. Millikin tried to bunt. Jake Pullum grabs it, throws it to third, and what a break for the Titans. They get out of it as the Millikin Big Blue had a chance to extend the lead, but it stays 3-1 with the Titans coming up next on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12-ounce Sports.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
We are back for the Titans' home half of the inning after a bunt attempt went south for Millikin. And if you're the Titans, you need to take that because that can really pull some momentum on your side, getting the double play.
Exactly. It's not even the results perspective. Obviously, it means a lot to be down 3-1 instead of 4-1. But the more important part of that double play is just what it's going to do for the confidence of Jake Pullum and for the confidence of this entire Wesleyan team. Now the batters will feel like they almost have an obligation to match what the defense just did.
It'll start with J.P. Ferraro. Titans down by 2 in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth, excuse me.
Ferraro was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat as he fouls the first pitch away here.
JP was hit by a pitch in the first. That never feels good.
No, but he barely reacted. Took that jog to first base. It meant a lot to the Titans at the time, and now they're playing catch-up for Ferraro's second plate appearance.
Takes the 0-2 pitch high, about chest level for a ball. One, two. Foul tip. Just got a piece of it, did Ferraro.
Yeah, this game really has had it all so far. Seen some stellar defense and some really impressive batting performances. Now, can the Titans add to the drama and narrow this deficit?
Missing the zone on that one is Zach O'Donnell, the lefty for the Millikin Big Blue. JP makes contact towards left field and out of play. Got down.
Just stretching past the wall there.
That student section for Illinois Wesleyan down that third base line.
And it's pretty full today. Technically not within the bounds of the stadium, but adding to what was already an impressive attendance here at Hornberger Field.
Another 2-2 fouled off towards the same direction. Ferraro battling O'Donnell. 2-2 swing and a miss. O'Donnell wins it as he gets JP swinging.
Good stuff from O'Donnell, who deals out his fourth strikeout, matching Pullum's mark. he'll be doing everything in his might to build on it, as that brings up Tristan Figgis.
Figgis struck out back in the first. Go after the first pitch, fouls it away.
I mean, Zach O'Donnell, he's doing a phenomenal job today.
Gets the foul, dribbled down the first base line. He's quickly ahead 0-2.
Generally speaking, I think more often than not we see pitchers who start the game strong and slowly fizzle out due to fatigue. O'Donnell has done the opposite. Had a bit of an erratic first inning, and since then has been lights out.
Figgis right back up the middle, ranging over, not making the grab is Liam McGill. He went down to his knees to try to get it, but he comes up empty-handed. That's going to be a single for Figgis.
Good work from Figgis. That's the sort of contact you want to make. Give it a couple bounces, makes it infinitely times harder to field. And now Wesleyan have a runner on base, bringing up Gage Wolf, who's batting .344 on the season. Important to note, it's still just one out. This could turn into a important offensive inning for the Titans.
Wolf flew out his last time up. Kind of a half swing right there from Wolf. Fouls it away for strike one. Throwing some heat is Zach O'Donnell. Wolf can't catch up to it. Down 0-2. Check on the runner. Figgis says Titan dugout all yell back in unison.
Yeah, they're keeping an eye on every play. They're not staying complacent or resting too much in the dugout.
The 0-2 Wolf is rung up as that one is called strike three. Zach O'Donnell painting the zone from Gage Wolf. Sends him back to the dugout.
Fielder number 41, Jack.
Real impressive stuff from O'Donnell, who coming into today was someone who averaged less than a strikeout an inning, and now he has 5 strikeouts through 4 incomplete innings. So improving on that mark. Obviously, you don't need strikeouts to be an effective pitcher, but certainly adds to your credibility if you do have that capability.
Jack Flagg will try to do something with 2 outs. 2 strikeouts coming in this inning for O'Donnell. Ball one low and away. Flagg grounded out. He'll be looking to find the outfield grass. He's got a lot of room down the left field side. It's Kozlowski's playing off the line. Flagg hits that one towards right field, but it's going to be caught by Sam Busher. As contact was made, but unfortunately for the men in green and white, it was straight to the right fielder for the Millikin Big Blue. The deficit stays at 2 for the Titans. Millikin Big Blue coming at the dish up next on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports.
I can see it now. The smell of the grass on the quad. That sense of excitement in the air each fall. It feels like yesterday. While I'm no longer 18, I know there are students out there ready for an opportunity like I had. For the space to discover passions, bond over dreams, and make lifelong friends. Breakthrough at Illinois Wesleyan University.
We are back. Top 5 here at Jack Hornberger Field. Millikin leading it 3-1. Overall, a pretty close game so far. The only blemish really for the Titans was that 3rd inning where they allowed Millikin that 3 runs, and that's where we stand.
Yeah, that's been crucial, and the Big Blue will be hoping to ride that all the way, and they may have to because the Wesleyan defense, well, Pullum looked much better in the fourth, much more secure, so they don't know if they're going to have any more chances, and that's why it was so important to capitalize on the one they did get in the third inning. You talked about it earlier, how many times this season it's been a problem for Millikin to leave runners stranded. To get 3 runs across, pivotal, and that's the lead they're riding here into the 5th inning.
Again, that's, if you're a Titan fan, you've seen that a lot this year, and we've also talked to Coach Keller about it. Big innings on the pitching side of the Wesleyan Titans have been a killer for the men in green and white. We're seeing that in this one, as the hometown kid Liam McGill steps in against Jake Pullum for ball 1. It up at 1-1 as McGill looks at that one in the zone. McGill with a single and a ground out today. We've seen both of these pitchers for Wesleyan and Millikin trying to hit that outside part of the plate. I would say that Pullum is struggling a little bit more to hit the zone on that outer part, but he does right there for a strike.
If he can figure, that's like the X factor here, and if he figures that out, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Millikin to get runners on base.
He now has a full count to the hitter in Liam McGill. McGill makes contact. It's fouled down the right field line.
McGill, one of 3 seniors in today's Millikin lineup. One of the 4 teams left in the CCIW tournament will be ending their season today, and that will end the collegiate careers of their seniors, obviously.
Contact made again on the next pitch, but it's going to be hit to right field and caught by the Titan defense in Tristan Figgis.
Always good to end a long at-bat in that way. And when that ball goes out to Figgis, you really don't doubt that he's going to catch it. Bring up Sam Busher, who's 1 for 2, registered a single and a strikeout today, maintaining an impressive over 400 average.
We talked about it earlier in the couple of games, specifically for Millikin, as that one's fouled back for a strike. The April 22nd game, I mentioned Millikin Big Blue out-hitting the Titans. They're doing just that in this one, 7-3 out-hitting the Titans. The difference in this one, they've capitalized on more chances. That's where they have a 3-1 lead. As that one hit to right field, slicing out of play.
Good to see Figgis trying to get on the end of it. But yeah, what you were saying, you've got to make use of your hits. The one thing I think any coach hates to see is a box score where you out-hit a team but you lose the game. And that's exactly what's happened to Millikin in that game against Illinois Wesleyan, what's happened to them on multiple occasions this year. They really want to change that today. So far, so good.
Pitch is inside to the hitter, Busher. He makes contact right over the head of Jimmy Gergoni. He jumped, but he got a glove on it. He's going to try to, for a second, throw in the tag. They got him. Jack Flagg nails Sam Busher at second, and that is huge.
Oh, yes. Great stuff from Flagg. What a throw that was. Absolute rocket. And you see it here. First, the decision to round first base. And then the tag expertly applied. Credit to Flag, but also credit to Wolf for applying that tag in time.
That was a bang play at second, as this one's going to be hit. Wolf on it, slipped a little bit, but he's able to make the grab. That will retire the Millikin Big Blue. So the outfielders for the Titans showing off the arms, helping out their team. Their offense is going to be back at the plate when we come back on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12-Ounce Sports.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program, double major, and play a sport, do an internship, and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
We're back live here on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12-Ounce Sports. Delighted to have you along with us for day 2 of the CCIW baseball tournament. And what a game this is shaping up to be between Millikin and Illinois Wesleyan. We're entering the bottom of the 5th, and the score is 3-1 to the Big Blue. The Titan Bats will be looking to make up for the deficit sustained in the 3rd inning. And if there's anything we can criticize about this Millikin performance, they're not stranding runners on base, which we mentioned was going to be a big talking point. Instead, they're making some interesting base running decisions. We saw an unsuccessful stolen base attempt earlier, and then just there, Sam Busher trying to turn a single into a double and got picked off after a beautiful long throw from Jack Flagg.
Yeah, that throw from Jack Flagg could be very crucial if the Titans do end up coming back in this one. Remember that throw, because that was a big play early. As Woltman will hit that one over to third. It's going to be collected by Ty Cribbett for the out.
Cribbett connecting with Niebrugge, as they so often do, and Zach O'Donnell's fine performance on the mound continues. That'll bring up Matt Hudick, the heavy-hitting freshman. First one is high for ball 1. Hudick so far today has managed a double, but also struck out. Low for ball 2.
About halfway through this one. That one maybe backed up on the pitcher in O'Donnell.
I think we just knew whatever was going to happen, that this was going to be a tightly contested game.
Ball 4 taken by Matt Hudick.
The shortstop.
For what it's worth, I think that's a big victory for the Titans. It's only the second walk given up by O'Donnell, who's been lights out since a tricky first inning. So runner on base now, and with one out, they'll be hoping that Justin Gadomski can produce some magic. We know he can, actually. It's a matter of, does he have it here in this moment?
Gadomski makes contact. Out in left field, a can of corn for Colby Kozlowski. Two outs in the inning. With Hudick at first, Kate Tomhave at the dish.
Zach O'Donnell looking as solid as ever.
Check on the runner, Hudick. O'Donnell so far 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. His line for today, continuing the pitching success from yesterday of the freshman Caleb Atkins.
And he's looking great so far. The run he gave up, not an earned run. he's still on track for a box score shutout, which he accomplished last time he was on the mound, which was against Wheaton on May 2nd. Pitched 5 innings and gave up just 5 hits for 0 earned runs.
Check on the runner, Hudick once again. Tom Have gonna try and do something with 2 outs. He's with a 1-1 count. Runner goes. Tom Have swings and fouls it off. Maybe a hit and run right there called by Coach Keller.
Yeah, they're trying something. Trying to find a spark any way they can.
We've seen that work to perfection a couple of times for Wesleyan in the regular season. This time, Tom Have not able to barrel it up. 1-2 is called strike 3. And Kate Tom Have doesn't like it one bit. But that will go down as the Titans will go back to the dugout. Down 3-1. You're watching the CCIW baseball tournament on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports. We are back after Tom Have got caught looking at strike 3. Not sure, well, definitely sure that he did not agree with the call from the home plate umpire. Either way, though, you got to move on if you're the Titans because this game is moving along and you're down by 2.
Yeah, it could get away from them. Now, it's still early, only entering the 6th inning, but the Big Blue have shown their batting prowess, so you can't bank on the pitching being so good that Millikin don't score the rest of the way. They're going to need the bats to get going. For the time being, Jake Pullum will try to keep the score at 3-1. He's not having a bad day at all. He's given up 8 hits across 5 innings for 3 earned runs. Only walked 1 while striking out 4. But it's been difficult given that on the other side you have Zach O'Donnell, who's been lights out throughout.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, coming into the tournament. And like we mentioned, both of these teams getting very hot, but Titans seemingly running into some very hot pitching from this Millikin rotation as Niebuhr is at the plate with an 0-1 count against Jake Pullum.
Millikin love their postseason baseball. I mean, last year they tied for the regular season title with North Park, ended up getting the 2 seed on account of the head-to-head tiebreaker, and then went in and dominated the tournament. They went 3-0. 2 games were run rules, including a run rule of North Park, and then they triumphed over Augustana in the championship. So this is a deadly team, and they want to prove it that they can match that success as the 4 seed.
The 1-2's hit out to left center field, right center field. That's going to drop in front of Hudick. It's a single for the Millikin Big Blue. And talking about seeding, sometimes, if I haven't mentioned it already, sometimes the pressure of being number 1 oftentimes can get to a team. And in Millikin's case, it's often sometimes better if you're not the number 1 seed because the pressure's off of you. You're not expected to run through the tournament and win it.
Yeah, definitely. They won the title last year playing all their games at least that season's most bitter rival in the form of North Park. Now they're trying to do the same thing to Illinois Wesleyan. So far the Titan resistance has been strong, but not strong enough. And in fact, talking about pressure being off, looking back to yesterday's game between Carthage and North Park, Carthage, who led the conference throughout the year, slipping into not even the 2 seed, but the 3 seed, they seemed almost vulnerable to an upset yesterday, and they seem to be playing completely freely without pressure. All of a sudden, they're finding their best again. So there is a lot of that psychology that goes into being a high seed versus a low seed.
Ty Cribbett with a hitter's count and 2 balls and a strike. Ebergry at first after the single to right center. Contact's made. It's in the infield. It's going to be caught. And they're going to throw over to first. And again, Millikin gets doubled up as a base running mistake again.
It's difficult on those infield pop-ups. But 2 outs now, and all of a sudden, Pullum could get through 6 full innings still with just those 3 runs given up from the 3rd inning.
Elliot Fulcher ground out and a strikeout earlier in the game. First pitch gets away for ball 1. You see Jake Pullum, when you watch him deliver, he's got kind of a long arm action out to the side.
Yeah, it's unusual. We don't see a lot of that at this level, but he uses it to great effect. I mean, he's been this Titan team's ace, and I use that word lightly because they have such a deep pitching staff. There's numerous players that could stake a claim to that ace title.
That one fouled away and out of play. Brings it to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Top 6 here at Jack Hornberger Field. Millikin 3-1 lead. Good eye from the right-handed hitting Elliot Fulcher. 2s across the board. Gets the call. Strike 3. Jake Pullum gets Elliot Fulcher looking. That'll be another strikeout to his name. He'll send his bats out to do some work against the Millikin Big Blue as they lead it 3-1. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Home half of the 6th here at Jack Hornberger Field. CCIW baseball tournament action coming at you. We got a full slate today. This is game 1 of 3. The second game starting at 3:30, and the third game starting at 7 p.m. That 7 p.m. game will be the 2 losers of the first 2 games as a reminder, so make sure you're tuning in all day long, as well as the softball tournament that's going on here at Jack Hornberger Field.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, don't leave us here on IWSports.com and 12-ounce sports. Our colleagues over at Inspiration Field calling 4 softball games today, so a grand total of 7 ball games on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University today. And what an honor for these programs to both host the conference tournament. The softball team, if there's any way to one-up what the baseball team's done this year, the softball team went 16-0 in the CCIW.
That is an incredible feat. I mean, that is something to be very proud of, as Gorgoni scorches that one into center field. That'll drop right in front of Tyler Gade, and that's a leadoff single for the Titans.
Good stuff from Gorgoni. He walked earlier as well as grounding out, but now he's reached base for the second time today.
I talk about it all year. I'm a big country music fan myself, and JP Ferraro's walk-up song is just absolutely legendary. I'm a fan of it. I know that in this day and age, I feel like country music is hated on a little bit more than I feel like it should be, but you know what, JP? I like you for it. I'm in favor of your walk-up song.
That's a bit surprising for a walk-up song. Generally, we hear upbeat
Rounder
music.
Right past first base. JP gets the single, going first to third is Jimmy Gargoni. The Titans are in business.
Here we go. Tying runs on base. Nobody's out. We've been talking about it all afternoon. And if you were starting to doubt the Titan bats, well, here's proof that you should never doubt that Illinois Wesleyan can come back into any game. It's game on at Kornberger Field.
They like to make things very interesting. We've talked about it all year long. They give us heart attacks all the time. Coach Keller saying he's not quite a fan of it, but any way they can get the job done, they will do. As a mound visit is going to be taken by the Millikin Big Blue. They do have action in their bullpen down the left field line. We'll see how much of a leash Zach O'Donnell has. He's pitched very well today for the Millikin Big Blue. 5 hits given up, 1 run, 0 earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
He's been phenomenal, but in the postseason, you can't give pitchers too much of a leash. One small error, a few minutes of subpar work, and you're in danger of being substituted. And I think that's exactly what the Titans wanted to do. They wanted to force Millikin into a situation where even if they're not giving up runs, all of a sudden you're bringing their aces' time on the mound into question.
It'll be Tristan Figgis at the dish, runners at the corners. Ball one outside. Figgis has a single of his own. He struck out in the first inning. That single coming for Figgis in the 4th.
And he's been one of 5 strikeout victims here today as far as this Wesleyan order is concerned. But a base hit now would mean so much to the Titans.
That one in the dirt for a ball. The pitch before that from O'Donnell, again attacking that outside zone. Titan hitter's going to have to protect that outside part of the plate, specifically the righties.
All of a sudden, Titan faithful are becoming animated, and so is the Titan dugout.
A 3-1 count to the hitter, Tristan Figgis. Ferraro at first, Gargoni at third. Ball 4, that will load the bases up with nobody out, just like Millikin. We saw this, they took advantage earlier in the game. The Titans got to do the same.
We were talking about how in that situation it was important for Wesleyan to respond. They didn't do so immediately, but now after 3 scoreless innings batting wise, they have an opportunity to make up for it, and that is it for Zach O'Donnell.
Talk about the leash. That leash is done for Zach O'Donnell. His day is over. He will leave the game. Bases loaded, nobody out, as the Millikin Big Blue will turn to their dugout. We're going to take a quick break here on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12 Ounce Sports. We'll return and tell you about the pitcher when we come back. Back on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12 Ounce Sports. Thank you for joining us. And this is a big moment.
Huge moment. And pivotal that the Titans have done enough to force Zach O'Donnell off the mound. to make that choice, that's bold for the Big Blue, but they had to do it because he was running into trouble for the first time today. Now, it's good news for the Titans that O'Donnell's out of the picture. Bad news is it's Nolan Ryman who's up now, and he's been deadly this season. He has a 1.42 ERA, the lowest out of anybody in this Millikin squad. He's pitched 44 innings, mostly in relief. He has 6 saves to his name. I don't think he's really thinking about the save this early in the game, but if anyone can clean up the danger for Millikin, it's Ryman.
Gage Wolf, bases loaded, nobody out. Here we go.
Every ball will feel so precious right now for the Titans.
Wolf looks to add a strike.
That's the sort of unique challenge relievers face. Ryman knows all about it. You rarely have too much time to settle in.
Wolf down the third base line, snagged, throw home. Ball is going to be caught. And they're going to say they got the force out at home. Gergoni disagreeing with it.
Well, that's incredible. That's really good work from Ty Cribbett first to get a hand on that ball and then dish it out to home plate. You'll see the instant replay on your screens right here.
Keller is maybe talking about the call. Nice play by Cribbett. As unfortunately the umpire is standing right in front of where the ball is, so we can't quite see what happened. I would imagine that the Titans are arguing that he maybe dropped the ball.
Yeah, because there's no denying that the throw was in plenty of time, but was everything clean there as far as the catcher's concerned? You can see a little bit of a stumble, but the instant replay not yielding too much of an explanation. Whatever the case may be, the bases are still loaded and Jack Flagg has an opportunity to deliver.
It's a big out if you're Nolan Ryman. Flag hit to right field towards the line, down and foul.
And a few feet inward, and that could have turned into a bases clearing hit.
Jack Flagg ground out. And a fly out. One swing of the bat could change his numbers and change the scoreboard. Millikin leading it 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch is in the dirt. Nice job by Aiden Simmons to block it.
Really important for Simmons to get on the end of that. We've already seen, in fact, the only run that Illinois Wesleyan has scored has come on a wild pitch. So can't let any get away, especially not with the bases loaded.
A 1-1 count. Flag through the hole between third and short. One run is going to score. They're going to send another. The throw home is going to be not in time. This ball game is tied up at 3 apiece. What a piece of hitting by Jack Flagg.
Amazing stuff from Jack Flagg and brilliant base running from Tristan Figgis to make it there in time. 3-3 at Hornberger Field. Still 2 runners on with 1 out. Illinois Wesleyan has stepped right back into the driver's seat here.
We got a ball game, folks. It's 3-3. The Titans are not done. First and second.
Flagg and Wolf on the bases, Waltman at the dish. Can Ryman rescue this situation and keep it a tie game heading into the last 3 innings?
Waltman watches that one go by. A 1-1 count. Still only 1 out. Waltman jammed him. Shallow right field. Landing foul. Nice effort by the first baseman in Andy Nieberge, but just out of his reach.
Yeah, really interesting moment there. I think Waltman was hopeful that that would land fair. Nieberge was hopeful that he would get on the end of it now that it wasn't foul territory, so a little bit of a buzzkill moment there. Seemed like we were going to get something flashy. Instead, Waltman returns for a 1-2 pitch.
Waltman, one of those senior type leaders on this team for the Titans. Coach Keller has raved about him all year long, leaning on him for that kind of off-the-field leadership that the Titans need, and really any team needs if you're looking to get chemistry. The 2-2. Woltman squirts that one over to Nieberge, and he's going to catch it. Titans smartly get back on the bases, but tough luck for Tyler Woltman as that one just couldn't get over the first baseman's
You
head.
see the dejected body language of Tyler Woltman as he heads back to the dugout. He really did everything he possibly could. Nieberge seemed desperate to get that highlight reel moment, and he does in the end after a failed catch in foul territory earlier, making an impressive grab to make sure the runners stay put. One ball to Matt Hudick now, who's 1 for 2 today. He has that leadoff double and a walk.
It's got a 2-0 count. You got Flag at first, Wolf at second. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. We're all tied at 3. Delivered a strike. Nolan Ryman coming in relief.
Gave up just the one hit, but it's a costly one.
Hudick scorches that one towards the house's foul out of play. That's going to be a tough break for Zach O'Donnell. Those runs will be charged to him because he left with the bases loaded.
And those are the first earned runs he's given up.
Hudick hits that one in between second and first. They're going to send the runner. A miscue out in the outfield. Runners at the corners. Titans take the lead.
Gage Wolf rounds the bases. He makes it all the way to home plate. And it is 4-3 to Illinois Wesleyan. Hornberger Field is on its feet.
I would venture to say that this is maybe the first time we've really heard the Wesleyan home crowd this loud in the game.
And what a moment. Truly, this is a testament to the Titans' willingness to fight for every single run. Huge turning point as Ryman looks towards first.
After that RBI single, you got Justin Gadomski at the plate, Hudick at first, Flag at third. Ryman doing anything he can to get out of it. Gadomski makes contact, hit to center field. It's carrying, but not enough, as it's going to be caught out in center field by Tyler Gade. But a massive inning for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. They take a lead. It's now 4-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one on 12 On Sports and the Titan Broadcast Network.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Top of the 7th here at Jack Hornberger Field. Titans now with a lead. If you're Millikin, you're still feeling pretty confident, though. You've been able to put up 3 runs against this Titan defense and pitching. And, you know, this game is getting to the later stages, but it's still on the top of the 7th. Plenty of time.
Yeah, but one thing that Millikin won't be unhappy to see is that Jake Pullum has left the game, having pitched 6 innings, given up 9 hits for 3 earned runs. All things considered, a very good start from Jake Pullum, and he could yet get credited with the win as Wesleyan took the lead in that 6th inning. In his place, it's Brady Hartman, who's come on in relief quite a bit this season. He has a 2-1 record as well as 2 saves this season. 21 innings pitched in total, so I wouldn't expect to see him out here for the remainder of the game, but an inning or two certainly in the offing for Brady Hartman.
Kozlowski, the first hitter, strikeout in the fourth and a single in the second. He'll hit that one right back up the middle for his second single of the game. So after getting down in the count 0-1, he wastes no time and he's on first base.
Big moment for the Big Blue. They really need to get going early in this inning because they're running out of time, and you don't want to be entering the final stages of a game down to a team as good as the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. They were so sad to see that lead go, I'm sure, at the bottom of the 6th, but Kozlowski resetting and getting that hit.
Bunt is put down, Hartman's on it. Throw over to first, out is recorded, but if you're Millikin, you'll take it because he advanced the runner.
Yeah, 1-run game, you got to do that. Sacrifice bunt, good stuff. And I have Kozlowski in scoring position. Tying run is 2 bases away.
Aiden Simmons at the dish. Single and a fly out.
Julian Cabinet, who was the one who laid down that bunt, continuing what's been a really impressive weekend. He's done pretty much everything right.
Goes after the pitch, but fouls it away.
What does this game still have in store for us? It's already been a thriller.
Wind is now blowing from right to left. That one just misses on the outside part of the plate. Kozlowski is at second. Simmons is at the dish with 1 out. Top 7, 4-3 is your score in favor of the Titans. Pitch is going to be spoiled. Aiden Simmons now with a 1-2 count.
Hartman doing well here.
If Simmons can get a hold one on his pull side, flag is playing way off the line in left field. Instead, he'll swing and a miss. 4-strike-3, Brady Hartman. That's an important out. That's the second out of the inning, and instead of him reaching, it's now 2 outs with a man in second. A lot harder to score now.
Massive moment, and the Titans, this is the sort of inning they needed from the reliever in Brady Hartman. You never know what you're going to get. When you substitute a pitcher that's done as well as Pullum did, it could go completely wrong. Instead, so far, it's been very good stuff from Hartman. McGill, 1 for 3 on the afternoon.
A little chopper right back to Hartman. He slips. The throw over. Nice pick, though, from Kate Tomhave. That looked like it was going to maybe end up being a little bit of a scary play, but Tomhave picks up his pitcher. Millikin, Big Blue go down. The Titans lead it 4-3. We're headed to the home half of the inning when we come back on the Titan Broadcast Network in 12-ounce sports.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up.
The game.
We're back for the bottom of the 7th. Titans leading this one late, 4-3, as their bats will come back up. And in this type of game, Carroll, you never feel safe with a 1-run lead.
Nope, not at all. And now Millikin want to get this defensive half of the inning done as quick as possible. And they'll send out Will Simpson to try and pick up the pieces after a 3-run 6th inning for the Titans. Simpson, the 3rd pitcher we're going to see coming out of the Big Blue staff. He has a 1-0 record this season and 1 save. 26 innings pitched and 12 strikeouts recorded, all that making for a 3.46 ERA. Let's see how he squares off against Cade Tomhave. After Tomhave, we'll have Gorgoni and Ferraro up, all 3 of those players playing a pivotal role throughout the season, and in the case of Gorgoni and Ferraro, especially dangerous today.
Looks at strike 1. Tough day for him.
Yeah, he's been struck out twice today, both times by O'Donnell. Maybe now seeing a new face on the mound can help him reach base for the first time.
He will reach first base as that one's going to hit him on the hands. That's got to feel good and not so good at the same time for Cade Tomhave. You mentioned striking out twice, but he gets to first base.
Yeah, hit by pitches are that sort of double whammy, as we see it here, just clipping him, so hopefully not too painful. But it's something that these guys know the value of. In fact, some players know it so well that they intentionally try and get hit, so. Don't think that was the case with Tomhave, but he'll take it.
Gorgoni at the dish now with Tomhave at first. A walk, a single, and a ground out. Single coming back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, a little bit of everything for him today.
Tomhave steps back into first safely. Simpson making sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Feels like if the Titans were to add some insurance runs here in the 7th, it would be very close to game over.
Gorgoni squared up to bunt, pulls back, but it's called a strike either way. We've seen the Millikin Big Blue do it. Put down a couple of sacrifice bunts. Infielder Ty Cribbett over at third is playing a little bit in, expecting the bunt. Pulled back, Gorgoni makes contact, but it's going to be in right field, and Sam Busher's on for the out.
Yeah, it's set up nicely for Busher. So 1 on, 1 out. That'll bring up JP Ferraro, who we talked about him earlier. Earned a very important single and ended up scoring a run for the Titans.
Pitch inside for ball 1.
Simpson doesn't get the call there. I think he's stepping into a much more favorable situation than Nolan Ryman. Ryman, by the way, didn't have any earned runs credited to him, as all 3 of the runners in question had reached base while O'Donnell was still on the mound.
2 pitches, 1 inside, 1 outside, 2-0. JP tried to go opposite field, but hits the brick wall on that fence in foul territory.
Feels like the wind carried that ball a little bit. Well, difficult to gauge the direction of it, but it does seem to be leaning towards left field.
2-1, fouled away, strike 2. This is a big inning if you're Simpson and the Millikin Big Blue. 1 out, a runner on first, and you got a 2-2 count. JP rips it in between first and second. Rounding second, but staying right on the bag is Cade Tomhave. And honestly, that's probably a smart move for the Titans. You have a lead. You don't want to risk getting thrown out at third.
Right.
Absolutely not. And
Number 14, Tristan.
they're so cautious. They're great. They're known to go for 2 bases when you would expect them to go for 1. They're known to go for stolen bases, but they're very calculated. They don't take these risks unless they make sense.
Biggest with a single, a walk, and a strikeout. They'll take the first pitch on the outside, black for a strike.
2 on, 1 out for Tristan Figgis, senior out of Arlington Heights.
Fouls that pitch away. I don't know if you're a big football fan, but if you are, I don't know if you have seen the Chicago Bears thinking about moving to Arlington Heights. I have fond memories in Arlington Heights. We used to go to the racetrack up there with a bunch of my cousins and my grandma and grandpa.
Oh yeah, that lovely ground now shut down, left a little derelict.
Biggest big hack, but comes up empty-handed for the strikeout.
Yeah, no triumphant moment for the Arlington Heights native there.
Baseman, number 7, Gage Wolf.
Not that the Chicago Bears moving to Arlington Heights has anything to do with this baseball game whatsoever, but...
And this game has provided the entertainment as it is, but trust on the two of us to add a little bonus there for free.
Gage Wolf steps in with 2 runners on. Ferraro still at first, Tomhave at second. 2 outs. Contact's made towards left field. It's out of play though, as Gage Wolf lives to fight another day.
Let's see what Wolf can produce here so far today. He's 1 for 3. Registered a single, as we mentioned. Still 2 on, so it could be deadly for the Titans or rather deadly for the Big Blue if the Titans were able to register a hit here.
The 0-2 pitch. Wolf makes contact into left field, slicing foul, but it's going to stay in fair territory as it's caught by Kozlowski. That'll end the threat from the Titans. They are clinging to a 1-run lead, 4-3. We're headed to the top of the 8th here at Jack Hornberger Field on 12 Ounce Sports and the Titan Broadcast Network.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Illinois Wesleyan Titans clinging to a 1-run lead. They clinched the number 1 seed and host this tournament for the first time since 2013, if my memory serves me correctly, looking for their first win in this tournament after the first round bye yesterday.
Yeah, then they're so motivated because this squad, well, even this particular squad, several players were here for the heartbreak of 2023 when they forced a second championship game against Augustana and lost 6-5 in a nail-biter. And that continued a trend of difficult breaks in the CCIW tournament. Since 2014, which is the last time this team won the title, they have been to the championship on 4 occasions, 2015, 2016, 2019, and then 2023, and lost each time. A win here against the Big Blue will put them within 2 games of a conference title, and they'll be desperate to break that difficult streak.
Brady Hartman to Sam Busher. He makes contact. That's grounded to Gadomski for the first out.
Complete perfection from Hartman, unsurprisingly, back on the mound for a second inning of work.
Center fielder, number 21, Tyler Gage.
A little bit of a different day for Jake Pullum going back to his outing. Still a very solid outing, don't get me wrong, for Jake Pullum, but he was probably used to a little bit more of a less stressful game in the regular season. Of course, obviously the stress is going to ramp up in the playoffs, but
yeah. It was Pullum. He did well overall. I think he can be satisfied with that performance. 9 hits in 6 innings. Difficult to give up 3 earned runs all in the same inning, but all things considered, really impressive how he recovered from that.
That pitch fouled away. Tyler Gade is at the dish.
Everything left to play for, regardless of which team you're cheering for. The loser of this one will be back at 7 p.m. tonight to play an elimination game against the loser of Carthage versus North Central, which is coming up at 3:30. So don't go anywhere. Stay comfy. There'll be lots of baseball.
Gade hits that one opposite field. Drops in front of Jack Flagg. Tyler Gade finds himself on first base. His second single of the game, his first one coming back in the 3rd.
Yeah, he, Busher, and Kozlowski are the 3 Big Blue players that have managed to register multiple hits. Good stuff from Gabe, and he was instrumental in the victory over Wheaton yesterday.
Nieberge makes contact, center field, ranging back on it, making the grab is Hudick, as a little bit of a duck maybe from Hudick, maybe the sun or something got.
And I think Nieberge will be about as disappointed as anyone, given the wind is blowing inward. It's going to be especially difficult to knock this one out of the ballpark. He knocked it a fair distance, but it was never any problem for Illinois Wesleyan's trusty center fielder, Matt Hudick.
Cribbett over to Tom Have, covering his Hartman. A 1-2-3 inning for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. The Millikin Big Blue trying to mount a comeback. They're going to have to wait just a little bit more to get back to the plate, as the Titan Bats are coming up with a 4-3 lead on the Titan Broadcast Network and 12 Ounce Sports. We'll be back.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
We are back. The Titan Bats looking for that all-important insurance run or 2, as we are getting to the very late stages of this one. 4-3 is your score, and this has been a very good game between these 2 teams.
Yeah, CCIW tournament classic between 2 powerhouses of the conference, 2 teams looking to, 2 teams with different storylines. This season, Illinois Wesleyan has been much better in the regular season, clinching that 1 seed. Millikin had a losing record for much of the year, exploded at the very end. And then historically, Millikin are the defending champions, while Illinois Wesleyan hasn't won the title in 11 years. So mixed bag, a little bit, maybe even a slight contradiction there, given how they've been playing this season. But this game has been truly spectacular from start to finish, I would imagine.
Jack Flagg leads it off for the men in green and white. Takes the first pitch inside. Goes after that one, but fouls it away. 1-1 the count. Simpson still your pitcher. A ball and 2 strikes to Jack Flagg.
Flagg with that 2 RBI single earlier in the game. He has been decisive for this Wesleyan lead, but
he will go down swinging as Simpson got him fishing a little bit. Nice pitch from the Millikin Big Blue right-hander.
That's his 2nd strikeout. He hasn't given up a run, just 1 hit, having faced 4 batters so far. Or 5 batters, excuse me.
Holman facing some chin music right there, backs out of the way. Simpson 1 hit given up, 2 strikeouts for him on the day. Another one basically in the same spot. The 2-0 ripped over to third, but standing right in the way is the third baseman, Ty Cribbett.
Always nice when you don't have to make that difficult throw to first base. Cribbett was on it, and Simpson looks to be on his way to escape this inning without any issues. Then the question will be, can the Big Blue deliver offensively?
Hudick squared to bunt, pulled it back for ball 1. We've seen that a lot this year from Matt Hudick. He's very, very good at it. That'll cause Ty Cribbett at third base to play in a little bit, right at the turf line where it turns from turf, or it would turn from grass to dirt, as that one's chopped over to second. Mishandled though. Elliot Fulsher went in and out of his glove. That's a break.
It's a good thing for the Titans to get a man on base this late in the game. They just want to have any chance they possibly can to extend their lead, and with Gadomski coming up, he hasn't been particularly dangerous today, though he did record a single, but we know what he's capable of.
Gadomski with 2 outs. Runners on. This is a very important inning for the Titans if they can get a 2-out rally. It's going to be hard with 2 outs, but you feel like you really need to get some insurance runs. As the pitcher spikes it in the dirt, not able to handle it is Aiden Simmons, and that will allow the runner to advance into scoring position, and he moves 90 feet closer to home.
Big break for the Titans. It's shaping up to be a real good situation. Still 2 outs, but with 2 balls and no strikes, plus a runner in scoring position. Illinois Wesleyan is hoping they can add a 5th run. And that appears to be an intentional walk.
They will choose to intentionally walk Gadomski. Instead, they'll face Cade Tomhave. If you are the Millikin Big Blue, you are making that decision based off of numbers or matchups, whatever it may be. If you're Cade Tomhave, you're wanting to prove them wrong right here and come through with a knock.
Yeah, I know he hasn't been super productive at the plate today, but very surprising that you opt to bring up Cade Tomhave with 2 runners on. It just seems a little nonsensical given his numbers, his output this year.
That is true, but you did mention he's not having too much success today. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. He was hit by a pitch, though, so that could always play a factor. As I'll look at that one low. But I think probably based on his numbers, like you mentioned, it's probably a move because they feel like they're more confident that they can get Tom Have out rather than Gadomski. But Gadomski, for him, he doesn't have much a better stat line than Tom Have.
No, they're both excellent players, but not so great today.
Tom Have hits sky high. Center field, caught by Tyler Gade. That'll end the threat for the Titans. Tom Have not happy with it, feeling like he maybe just missed it. But the Millikin Big Blue Bats are coming up next.
No runs on no hits.
As it's
One error and
4-3 in favor of the Titans. It's the top of the 9th when we come back.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program, double major, and play a sport, do an internship, and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
The Titans 3 outs away from handing Millikin their first loss in what is now double elimination. Yesterday was single elimination, turns to double elimination starting today, and that would be huge if you're the Titans to hand Millikin their first loss of the tournament.
Yeah, advancing to day 3 of the CCIW tournament is no mean feat. It's something Illinois Wesleyan failed at last year. Last year they stumbled at the first hurdle, losing on day 1 in those play-in single elimination games. Millikin avoided that fate yesterday, beating Wheaton handily 5-2. But today it hasn't gone according to plan. A 3-run 6th inning for the Titans has put them back in the lead after a 3-run inning from Millikin in the 3rd gave them the lead. What do the Big Blue have here in the top of the 9th? They're 3 outs away from being in an elimination situation tonight.
Elliot Fulcher will lead it off. And again, I'm going to point it out. You've mentioned it a lot. It's got to be frustrating if you're Millikin. You've out-hit the Titans once again in this one, but you're down as that one's going to be dribbled to Gadomski. He'll throw over. That's 1 out in the top of the 9th.
No, it's so frustrating, especially really very little went wrong from a hitting perspective for Millikin today. So the Big Blue have to look back, find those little inconsistencies, those little errors. They still have been leaving runners stranded today, even though it hasn't been as big of a problem as in the past. If I'm not mistaken, it's 5 runners left on base today.
Strike 1 is called, and looking back to yesterday in that win against Wheaton, Millikin, outside of a home run from Tyler Gade and a double, all of their runs really came from small ball.
Right.
Lots of hits. That's a theme for Millikin. They get a lot of hits, and they try and score a lot of runs off of hits. They're not really one that you're going to see hit a lot of home runs, so to speak, especially at least late in the season and coming into today's tournament.
And it's an effective tactic against many teams, but against such a composed pitching staff like Illinois Wesleyan has, it's going to be difficult. Brady Hartman here, case in point, delivering a fantastic closing performance so far.
Caleb Kozlowski is at the plate. He's got a 1-2 count, 4-3 in the top of the 9th.
Kozlowski has been one of the more dangerous players in the Millikin order today. 2 singles, but he also has been struck out once.
Already 1 out as the 2-2 pitch fouled away. Nice job by the left-handed hitting Kozlowski to spoil that pitch from Brady Hartman. He'll do it again. Fouls another one away towards the left side.
This has been a very solid performance from Brady Hartman, who's
He makes contact. That one rocketed out into center field. Hudick playing a little shallow at the wall. He makes the grab. Wow, he put a ride into that one, but Matt Hudick makes the catch.
And you see some begrudging applause from the Millikin fans here in the stands. That catch, crucial. Now it's 1 out for the Millikin Big Blue, or they will be in an elimination game tonight. Really can't blame Kozlowski. He got a real good bat on that one, but Hudick was up to the task.
Cabinet at the dish. Final out for Millikin. And if you're Millikin on that last at bat, this is unfortunately not the day to hit a ball in the air with the wind not working in your favor. If it was any other day, I'd probably say that ball probably got out of here.
Yeah, and I think for a second everyone's heart stopped.
Gadomski on it. The throw over to Tom Habe. That will do it. Illinois Wesleyan puts an end to this one. They take their first game of the tournament, 4-3, your final score. And as you mentioned, Millikin, they will be in the game tonight at 7, facing elimination. But as for this first game, it's the Titans who take it. The second game is going to be coming up at 3:30. The loser of that one will decide who Millikin plays, as Carthage and North Central, the 3 and 2 seed, face off.
Yeah, if you liked watching these two teams in action, and I'm sure you did because every lover of baseball did, they will both still be in the tournament, such as the beauty of this double elimination format. Illinois Wesleyan will return to the Diamond tomorrow at 2 p.m. to play the third round, and they are now 2 wins away from their first postseason title since 2014. As for the Millikin Big Blue, their title defense is in danger. They beat Wheaton yesterday. They fall short in a really close contest here today. They'll be back at 7 p.m. All that action will be right here on IWSports.com and 12 Ounce Sports.
And if I'm correct, Curly, you are calling that 3:30 game here at Jack Hornberger Field.
So stay right here. I'll be taking you through the action of Carthage versus North Central, and then Michael will be picking it back up at 7 p.m. tonight. So 2 spectacular games in the offing. Not quite sure who'll be playing that third one just yet, but plenty more to come. We thank you for joining us. It's been a delight, and stay tuned for more action from the CCIW baseball tournament.